Okay, so at this point, you all, we're going to go into some training, and we just had an amazing presentation, you all. And so this is the training to that. Every Monday night with Dr. Mike, we like to train. We do mindset, we do leadership teaching, coaching, and that's something that we offer because we understand that conscious leaders, competent leaders, are those who really succeed in this space. And so we got some things. We got the 5-5 coming up that we're going to be sharing. You, Mr. Brown, will be dealing with that. But one of the most important things that I always tell you all and that I always show you all is simply this right here. Everything right. Oh, not that slide. My bad. Okay. Is everything rise and falls is on mindset. And so if you don't know what mindset is, you have a picture of what mindset is. You have mindset broken down into two things. You have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, your body, which gives you the results. Okay. And I'm just doing a quick piece on this. So when you talk about conscious mind, this is where you have your perceptors that you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. That is the part of your mind that thinks logically. That's where you gather information. Okay. The conscious mind has the ability to pick and choose. You have the ability to say if I receive that information or if I reject that information. Okay. That's what the conscious mind does. Now, the subconscious mind, you all, which is your seat of emotion, it does not have the ability to pick and choose. So, what then happens? If you don't watch how you're thinking and how you're receiving things, so you just automatically suppress it down to your subconscious mind. And then what happens is you all, your subconscious mind gets involved and it creates a vibration in your body. So that vibration is when people say, man, how you feel today? I'm doing good or not so good. People don't walk around and say, man, I'm in a negative vibration because something happened yesterday that made me mad. No. You gather the information, you get these thoughts, you stir up the emotions, you get emotionally involved with it, and that gives you the results. So why am I sharing this with you all? Well, when we go through life, you all, and we start experiencing and doing this type of business, sometimes if you get so many no's, it can make you feel a certain way. You see? And then there's so many no's of people being negative about, oh, that's a scheme, that's this, that's that. That stuff can start getting into your mind, and without you even paying attention, it gets down into your heart, which is your emotions, and you start slowing down. You start not thinking about it. You start not being excited about the opportunity. You start, just feeling a little funky, if you will. And next thing you know, your results start to match it. Whereas you was excited, you was on the call, and you sharing it with people. Next thing you know, you're not so excited. You're not sharing it with too many people because now you're starting to doubt yourself. So what am I saying? If you fortify your mind and understand this, here's a scenario that I was listening to Mr. Jim Rohn one day, and I want you all to pay attention. This is going to bless some of you all. Um, all know in baseball, the average batter only hits about 30% and gets on base about 30% out of 100. But they get paid millions of dollars to do 30% worth of work. That's so good, isn't it? So he was explaining to him that if you got 10 people, out of 10 people, if you get three, that's 30%. You're doing amazing. If you get two, that's great. You're doing one, that's great. So when you start talking to people, you want to get rid of the 7 to 8 no's off top. You go into their fortified knowing. So when I used that and thought about that, when I start talking to people, sometimes I'll invite them out and I'll say, hey, you know what? Rule of thumb is I know out of 10 people, only three may stick and only one or two may sign up. So you don't even have to come get involved. Just be one of my seven, just to help me fill up the room. What I just said? Now, that triggers something that we call FOMO, fear of missing out in some individuals. And it's just one of those, those tactics, or not even say tactic, that don't sound funny, but it is a tactic. It's just one of those ways to fortify your heart and position yourself so that you don't let the no's get into you and you stop forgetting why you're doing this in the first place. Okay. So now the question then becomes what happens when I run through my warm market, my market, my warm market, and then I get to cold and I run out of people to talk to. The old school way of doing this, you always to go out and go meet people, go to restaurants, go to bars, always meet people, always collecting phone numbers. But now we have something called AI, we got something called social media. And I went through some training, you all, a couple of years ago. I took a deep dive into sales and started doing sales, man. I studied sales for like 2.5, 3 years to get my coaching business off the ground and get clients. And I learned a lot. And so one of the things that I'm going to share with you all tonight when it comes to marketing is specifically Let's call this social media and attraction marketing. Okay, social media and attraction marketing. I don't have slides, so you're gonna have to take some notes. That's why I'm recording this. So the first thing when you talk about attraction marketing, you got to figure out who's going to be your attractive character. Many times it's going to be you. That means how you show up, the level of energy you show up with, the level of confidence you show up with. Okay. And of course, how you speak about it. Now, when you're online and you're doing Facebook and you're doing Instagram, once again, I like to use YouTube because YouTube is actually a search engine because it's owned by Google, I believe. So when people come to YouTube, they're specifically looking for something. So as an attractive character, when you begin to build your brand of who you are, which means the problem that you solve. Some of y'all might want to write that down. Your attractive character is the character that solves the problem for people. This is where a lot of people in the network marketing space get it wrong because they start putting up a lot of um, videos and a lot of posts just about the product, the system, the company, the leaders who making the money, da 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 da. Average people, consumer-minded people, don't want to hear about how much money you're making or about your company. They want to know first off, do you have a solution to my problem? Let me tell you all something, man. People pay big money if you can lead them away from a pain point or bring them something that is going to add value to them. Two things. If you're going to relieve them from a pain or bring them something that's going to add value to them. Do y'all see what I'm saying? So when you start thinking about it that way, you don't, you like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. When I'm on social media, sometime you all, I post the problems that and the pain points that I know the people that I'm dealing with. So at my age, at 48, 49, going 48, going to be 49, I'm thinking about legacy. I'm thinking about retirement. I'm thinking about medical care and all this high cost, right? So guess what? You choose your target. I mean, you choose your audience and you target that specific way. So, for example, when you're talking about people who dealing with AI, you want to talk about and target people who are already in the business who understand that they got different things that they're using already. People like real estate agents, insurance agency, credit repair companies, coaches and consultants. I deal with a lot of coaches and consultants, y'all. Online marketers, e-commerce, content creators. They already using these systems. So they'll be people who are interested. But guess what? If your Facebook is already geared to a people group, then you can't just throw something up because you're in this amazing company and expect them to just grab hold to it. That's why they're going to ghost you. Now you warm them up. You go in there, you do a post or video. Hey guys, how you do a poll? How many of you all would be interested in learning how to do a home-based business? Hey moms, single mothers, single dad. How many of y'all would be interested in making some extra income on the side without altering what you're already doing? Do y'all hear the mind? You hear it? See, it's very strategic. So let's just say you talk about AI tools and you share that with them. Then they're gonna say, you know what, I'd be interested in consolidating all that because I am spending a lot of money in my AI and my CR systems. I'm using ChatGPT, I'm using Claude, I'm using Midjourney, I'm using Gemini, Runaway, Canva, all that. Okay, it works. Well, you say, well, Doc Favors, I'm not really into that. I'm a real network marketer. Well, you already know you should be talking to team builders, MLMs, affiliate marketing, sales training, anybody in sales. You see, if you're dealing with content creators and people on social media, they need AI daily for captions and videos and images and reels and funnels. So you just speak to them in a different way that's right there with them. Some people use Go High Level, some people use in CIMs, click funnels. I use Kajabi, as a matter of fact. I got my courses and all that stuff over there. And I also teach and train people how to use that stuff. You see? So what am I saying with you all? Tonight, when it comes to network marketing, I'm gonna give you a good strategy. I got a bunch of notes. I'm not gonna go through all that, but I want to give you all something as an example. When you're positioning yourself on social media, you got a couple of tools that people are not paying attention to. I want you all to notice how when you make a regular post on Facebook about your business, you don't get too many likes and too many engagements, should I say, unless they are already in the business and they on a team. But have you all noticed what happens to your stories and your reels? You get views on reels and stories, don't you? But the problem is you're not experiencing the response to some of the call to action like you want to. Now remember, I started off talking about attraction marketing, social media marketing, and the attractive character. So you win people to you first, which means you never build the, and I know some people ain't gonna like this, man, but I'm just gonna tell you all, you don't build the brand of the company, you build your personal brand first, and then the company comes second. Because at the end of the day, anything could happen with these companies. They could go away. but you still have your personal brand. And a lot of people are not telling y'all that. And that's how they coming in with these huge teams because they developed a personal brand so people trust them and value them. So where they go, they can bring a huge team with them. I hope this is if this is helping anybody, put some emojis in the chat, put some 777s in the chat. I need to engage y'all, see who here still. If this is helping any of you all, put some 7 7s in the chat, man. Let me hear from you all. Right now we got about 86 people. Oh, some of y'all stuck around. Look at that. Y'all like hanging out with old Fave then. Look at that. Look at God. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So with that being said, you position yourself as that, as the expert. Thank y'all for them sevens. I appreciate y'all. You position yourself as the expert. Now, as I was saying, pay attention to the stories on Facebook. This is why even on my YouTube, I always ask people to leave a comment down below and leave a question, and I go through and personally answer those questions, y'all. Okay? But on Facebook, when you put a story up, you notice that people can look at the story, but no one can tell who's looking at the story. But you can. So if you put a story up on a image or something on your storyline in your story feed, you may have 20 to 30 people. Watch this, who just gave you permission to contact them because they popped on your story. So the question is, well, Doc, that's good. I know, been doing it for years. So how do I do? What do I do with that? You simply say something like this. Here's a prompt for you. Hey, so and so, thank you for showing up and taking a look at my story. Because you did, would you mind if I sent you something that I think would be a blessing to you since you watched my story? That's one prompt. A second one is, hey, Mr. Davis, thank you for showing up and watching my story. Are you interested in learning more about this? And then you be quiet and let them respond. If they don't respond, then you know, there it is, you leave them be. Some of them may if they're really interested. And if you framed it a certain way, if you really put a story up that framed ability to solve their problem. Remember, we're not going to just put up stuff about the products and all that. That's not necessarily how you do marketing, you all, in terms of attraction marketing. And then don't get me wrong, there's a lot of ways to do this. I'm not knocking those who do it, but I found that I get more engagement when I put up posts about solving problems. So let me see if I can, let me go here real quick. I'm gonna show you all one as a case study. Let me see where is that. Let me see where is that. You know what? See, that's the problem. Story's only up for 24 hours, and I should have took a screenshot. Mm, mm, mm. That's my bad, y'all. Okay, wait a minute though. Here's okay, bet. Okay. Okay, watch this. So if I go here, so I'm a Facebook group, watch this now. And I look at this one story right here. Views on there, 12 viewers, right? That means I got 12 people. I got 12 people that I can send out that piece to and ask them, especially the ones who send some hearts to it. Now, don't get me wrong, some of them may be someone who's already connected to us, but I'm looking for the people who have not been connected, that's out in the algorithm that I haven't sent anything to. And that's how you begin that conversation. And so when you drip on them and they ask you about it, guys, that is one highly effective way to engage people because they're already looking at your story. Now, if you got 2 or 3 stories, 2 or 3 posting a story, and they look at 1, 2, and 3. What's a good follow-up response when prospect comes back with I don't have time? Okay, great. Hold on one second. When you do that with 1, 2, 3 follow-ups and they look at all 3 of them, you know you got real attention. So sometimes I'll put up 3 or 4 of them and look at the last one, and then those are the ones that I'll actually engage, So now, I didn't really plan on opening it up for Q&A, but I guess if you all want to engage in some Q&A, I'll answer a couple of questions. Put some questions in the chat. I'm not going to just open it up like that, but you can type them in the chat. Okay, so hopefully that helps you all, though, with that training and attraction character. When you start to show people that you are really thinking about them and trying to solve a problem for them, they tend to engage you more, okay? And then, of course, we'll talk about the five data on Wednesday, and I'll break some of that down. So now, Type some questions in the chat if you have some questions. The first question is, what's a good follow-up response when a prospect comes back with "I don't know"? Let me see if I can put this here. Yep, on Zoom so y'all can actually see this. And that question right there. Let me see. Can I blow that up a little bit? Nope, nope. All right. So, what is a good follow-up response when a prospect comes back with "I don't have time"? So, once again, you got to think about qualifying. How do you qualify them? Because when you begin to qualify them, you are, and this is something that a lot of people don't do. We just assume you qualify them by simply asking this question: Are you where you want? If I ask you this question today, are you where you want to be financially in say 5 years, 10 years? Many people gonna say no. Then you ask them a question. Well, why not? What's hindering you from being where you want to be financially when you can have time and freedom to do whatever you want to? And then you let them tell you what's going on with them, y'all. Now I'm really giving y'all some sauce. Now I teach this to my clients in my coaching program right here. Y'all get some good stuff here. So you begin to ask them, and you are pre-qualifying them. And people, if you are genuinely honest with them, and you tell them for real, I'm really here to help you, just like I'm doing right now. I'm gonna ask you, are you where you want to be? Not really. What's stopping you? What's hindering you? Da 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 da. Well, what if I can show you a way that? Well, here's the follow up. What if I can show you a way that will help you and not take up more of your time? Would you be interested then? 8 times out of 10, they're gonna say yes, unless they're just not interested in what you had to offer. And if that's the case, then we go back and we look at the way you presented yourself as an attractive character. But when people say I don't have time, some of them don't have time. So you begin to ask them the questions, the right follow-up questions to say, okay, are you where you want to be? And if they're not, what you don't do is say something like this. Well, I don't have time to do that right now. Well, that's why you need to do it because you ain't got time right now. That is so crass, you all. That's so arrogant. That's so not good. That'll turn me off. And some people tell you about yourself if you come on like that, okay? So we want to always stay positive. We want to make sure that the people are there, that we're there to help them. We don't want to bemoan them and make them feel that we're attacking them, okay? But great question, Carolyn. Thank you for that. Any other questions, you all? Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, going once, going twice. So we definitely appreciate you all being on here tonight with us, sticking around. About 82 of you all sticking around here. And you all know we do this every Monday night, and this will be up on the YouTube channel. We'll make sure we get both replays up for you guys. And you all, at the end of the day, make sure you stay plugged in. Get back with the person who invited you. And of course, you all, we are going to go and really do great exploits. Now, let me just say this one thing before we go. Okay, wait a minute. We look like we got another question. I guess y'all typing, so I'll slow down. What will you say when people said, I don't have the money? Oh, that's easy. You don't need any money. It's good to have it, but if you don't have any money, then are you coachable and teachable? Are you trainable? Because I can coach you and show you, just like this right here, how you can come into this program with no money. And I've done that in plays, you all. Came in with no money, but know I got some influence and a skill set where I can help other people. I can share it and invite. And next thing you know, I went to at least a mid-range level in that company. Like for real, you all. Seriously. When I first got started in Forex, you all, I'll tell y'all the story. I I didn't have the money. And I didn't tell my wife at the time, but I took some of the rent money and went and invested in the company because I bet on me. And they say, man, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to learn how to trade live. I say, I'll be doing it in three days because I got to make this back. So my why was so important, you all. But I didn't have all the money. So I came in on a lesser piece, went to work. I think I stayed up, I mean, literally, maybe 3 or 4 hours sleep. But for 3 days straight, I was drilling in it. And within the first 3 days, I went live. The fourth day, I put like $50 in the account and traded that up to $1,000. Put the money back that I used, and then kept going. Next, everybody kept asking how you do it, and that's how I went 6 figures in my first network marketing company. Teaching people how to trade for it because I have found the system that worked for me. So when people say I don't have the money, all they got to do, you just got to ask them, are you coachable and trainable? If you are, I can help you. I can train you. So now here's what I want you all to understand real quick. Will you show how to learn more about it? Yeah. Yeah. In order to learn about the Bellator system, all you got to do is plug in and just keep coming to the trainings. And that's what repetition is. You hear, the more you hear it, the more your learning curve will catch it, and you just keep coming to the trainings. There is no way to speed up the process of your learning curve because all of us learn at a different level. And so you just got to show up, and the more and more you show up, you desire, you hungry, it then works for you. And I stand on that for real. All right, now let me show y'all something real quick. And I was up. So now also you all know that I'm a pastor, I'm a bishop. And so I know sometimes we don't use the language, but I'm just gonna have to share with you all and say this. So if you're in another religious background, we're here to train. We don't discriminate, okay? But the 5-5, you all, when we talk about these twos, three, four, and fives, we got the numbers, you all. We're gonna really be breaking this down on Wednesday, but I want you all to see something here. Your first two are training positions, okay? The next three are direct positions. First two people, man, hit buttons. The first two people, you get 200 apiece. The three, four, and five, you get 1,000 apiece for a total of $3,400. Here's the mindset how we want to be thinking about this for our team. There is a verse in the good book that says, one plants, one waters, but God provides the increase. I need y'all to hear this. One plants the seed, another one waters the seed, but it is God who provides the increase. Now, what does that look like in this model? If you look at your first two people like the seeds that you're sowing, okay, for the business, for your business, I'm going to sow them seeds, the first two people. Then I'm going to make sure that I utilize leadership and invite them out to trainings like this. So you let us as the trainers and presenters begin to water those seeds. We're not thieves over here. I don't try to steal and do nothing like that. I'm going to water your people until you get back to the person who sent you here. But I'm watering them for you. Now, the three, four, and five, you all, when you talk about law of vibration, law of attraction, whether you believe in it or not, it's true, y'all. Then what happens? Your three, four, and five begins to come as you continue to show up and begin to do the work of the business. One plants, one waters, God provides the increase. So if I plant and sow my first two as seeds, and we duplicate this, and we believe in God, we know this. Now, once again, if you're not a believer, you believe in a higher power, whoever you call. I'm not here to debate that right there. At the end of the day, what can happen? You start getting into a mindset that I sowed the seed. You start getting into a mindset of expectation. That means when you start talking to people, when you start sharing with people, you're going to be different because you're going to know, hey, eventually, I don't care if it takes 3 weeks, 3 months, eventually that five going to hit. And then we duplicate the process. And then when you get to level two, the three create the six. You see, three, four, five create the six. And then that's when the 800s come. And that's 4 to 800. This is not even including you still sharing and getting 1,000 from the people you putting in because you'll duplicate the whole thing. But it'll just be the threes because once you get your first two, you never have to do the first two again. Do y'all hear what I'm trying to tell you? One plant, one water, get your increase. That is the mindset that we're going into, you all, here on our team. Okay. Okay, here's another question. What do you think about people in Bellator who purchase CPU node and not the Alpha Pass? What do you mean what I think about? I think they're good people. You can get your nodes, you can get your Alpha Pass. Listen, guys, if I'm here to help you, then I helped you. So if you get your nodes, we got nodes. If you get your Alpha Pass, you got your Alpha Pass. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, guys, you got to get in where you fit in. I'm just happy that you involved. And then when it comes in and you start to share, you can then get your Alpha Pass. Now, if you're asking me, do I believe in the Alpha Pass in terms of the validity of it? Yeah, because I know the markets. The Alpha Pass is going to be nice. So when you start stacking assets, you think about the Alpha Pass like this, y'all. It could be considered like a node, in my opinion. So if I got 4 or 5 CPU, micro CPU nodes, I got 4 or 5 Guardian, 4 or 5 Project, or whatever. It's just an example. Then wouldn't it make sense for me to get 4 or 5 Alpha Pass? Because it's all, watch this. It is all, in my mind, a multiple streams of income. So if I'm stacking all this and the switch, boom, it's all coming into my back office, my wallet, man. And that's why there's a serious wealth transfer getting ready to happen, you all. Okay? So hopefully that answered the question. And if you all have any more questions, I'll stick around for maybe 2 more minutes for you to type them. If not, Hey, great questions, great sessions, y'all. If y'all got anything from the chat, go ahead and give some reactions. Put some ones in the chat. Give some ones in the chat. So thank you, Jude, for a great answer. Put some ones in the chat. Y'all got anything from this? If you all like to continue this mind, this type of piece, then we'll do this. I know on Monday nights, that's why I ended the recording so people could go and do some other things. But guys, we got to get our minds in the right place to receive some of these blessings, man. I promise you. And I'm not a man who's ashamed of anything that God has blessed me with. I'm just going to tell you the truth. But when you got great leaders that are in this thing, like I say, you plant, you become coachable and teachable. That's what I do. If y'all notice, Mr. Brown, hey, Doc, Mr. Brown is on here. So you know we're going to drive traffic and do what we got to do. Because as I'm planting, he's watering. That man did. I saw this man do a 14-day blitz twice a day with almost no hesitation. That's the type of leadership that I like to be around. And I said it on wax out here. Shout out, salute to you, Mr. D. Brown, man. I appreciate you, Chief. I want everybody to know it, Doc. Like, for real. That dude right there, I've been knowing that dude, man, for almost 12, 13 years, man. One of the guys who put this book in my hand told me about Think Grow Rich, and that thing just set me off on a whole nother level trajectory with mindset. And here it is now. So with that being said, you all make sure that you stay connected. Get back with the person who invited you out. We're going to be teaching. Mr. Brown is actually going to be going in depth on Wednesday's training call. So make sure on that training call on the 11th to do that. How to reconnect people. Okay, I did say I was going to answer one more question. Let me get to the chat. But make sure you all hit the training calls on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 11 and no 12 on Wednesday, 11 on Saturday, because he's going to be breaking this thing down to the minute. Trust me. All right, last question. How to reconnect the people you invite before in a different online business who lost their money and now you are afraid to invite them again? Okay, first of all, we don't operate in fear. And the second thing is, y'all, we got to be honest and true with people. So when I call them and talk to them, hey man, I'm gonna tell you what, I know some of the plays were good and some of the plays were not so good. That comes with it. If you had a good job and you lose your job, you don't get out the workforce, you go find another job. So I want to appeal to your intellect and first of all say, hey, it wasn't my fault. I didn't intend for it to go that way. But I'm telling you now, Doc, we found something. And here's the reason why I believe it's good for you. We got this involved, we got that involved, but you don't have to believe me. You don't even have to take my word for it. Just come and sit in the room and be one of the seven. Help me fill that room. And next thing you know, because you honest with them, y'all, you upfront with them. You can't sidestep it or act like you disingenuous and act like you don't care, but you're trying to call and get me in front of another piece. No, no, no. We got to learn from that, you all. And I'm going to tell you the truth. This may sound cliche, but Mama Favors used to say honesty is the best policy. So when I was young and I'd do something crazy, I'd tell them myself before they could because I realized the whooping wouldn't be as bad. Boy, don't you know better? Yes, man. Why'd you do it? I don't know. I'm just, you see? But if she had to find out from somebody in the street or somebody at school that's embarrassing her, then that's when I got it bad. So how do you reconnect with people? You just be honest with them. No problem. You just be honest and forthright, you all. And then once again, when you get on the training, Mr. Brown gonna tell you all about a story. You need 3 stories: product story, testimonial story, and man, I always forget that last story. God dog. Anyway, you need 3 stories. But if you're honest with people and they can see that and sense your genuineness, your genuineness, man, they'll come back around. Trust me. I experience that all the time. Now it may take a little longer, but they eventually come. There's a couple guys coming back around right now I'm in conversation with. All right. So with that being said, you all, if you don't have any more questions, this has been a great training session, man. For me, I hope it's been good for you all. Once again, the replays will go up. And as always, you all, y'all know what it is, man. We're here to serve you. So if there's anything that we can do to help out you all in kind, in reason. All right. We are families. Do have families. So you all gotta show up. Okay. Don't miss the trainings and then want us to just hop, skip, and jump to your drum and you're not even on the trainings, you all. You got to get on the trainings, okay? And of course, if you're a builder, which is what this is for, we want to help you build. So with that being said, once again, this is Doc Favors. I thank you all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. And we'll see you next time. Peace.